Hi, Paul.
Hello.
Thank you, Paul. And when music becomes life, it seems to me, it becomes something like your music and your life, I think. How did your love for music start?
How? Well, I mean, I grew up with two parents who was running a jazz club. So from I was 5, I was exposed to quite some amazing jazz concerts at the club. We were backstage falling asleep when George Coleman was on stage, parties at my parents' house. Music was, is and was and will be a big part of my life and upbringing and family and whatnot. So from I was born, yeah.
One of your projects, Large Unit Ethnobrass, is a manifesto, I think, a cultivated musical utopia. A world band with focus to Ethiopia and Brazil, rhythm and sounds. How did you come to this idea? From that project came out cooperation, exchanges.
I mean, I was given the chance to go to Ethiopia first time maybe 12 years ago, I think it was. And from the very first trip I made there, I realized I wanted to come back as often as possible because it was life-changing, I would say, because getting to know the culture, the people, the food, the history, the music, the dancing, and the generosity of the people. And I continue to go there maybe once or twice a year by myself or other projects. And then some 3-4 years after that, I went to Brazil for the first time, and I must say that I experienced the same, let's say, pride in their culture, their music, their food. Everyone knows every song, almost. Any pop song, everyone knows it. And intrigued by both, what should I say, countries' music, Ethiopian and Brazilian. And then hooking up with Cílio de Carvalho, Paulino Bicolor, also meeting people, Paulino, for example, and people in Addis who didn't know much about or didn't have any experience in improvising freely, for example, and I thought, no, let's mix all this together and see what happens. And it has been quite some, what should I say, good explosions.
You have always been a curious musician and artist looking at 30-60 degrees. Now I'm asking, which are your main point of interest in music? Where are you looking at when you look for new interesting trends or suggestions?
Yeah, I mean, okay, there was no time today, but everywhere I go, I try to visit a record shop. But I would usually then go to the world music section, or let's say the local music section. So if in Italy, I would try and find records with Mina or Renato Corazon. What should I say? Discover more of the culture of the countries that I'm in. During the pandemic, I had the time to what should I say, investigate into music from Okinawa much more. I already was way into it, and I discovered this website where they sell all these LPs very cheaply because it doesn't seem that so many are interested in the music from Tsugaru, which is in Aomori prefecture up north of mainland. And then I discovered there's so much music I didn't know of Japan, traditional music, and it's almost, I mean, it's a kind of a blues for me, the tsugaru shamisen, and similar to the Okinawa music. And I can also hear similarities in Ethiopian music. So I was asking, I think it was Toshinori Kondo, and said, no, but the meeting point was in Israel with trading and whatnot. It just continues. And when I hear music that I haven't heard before, that is a very special feeling. And seeing audience experiencing that is beautiful, but it's also fantastic to still experience that oneself.
Musicians and musical entrepreneurs have been well supported in Norway. What do you think about this aspect that is not so common elsewhere?
Yeah, I mean, it's a two-sided coin, so to say, because on one hand, it would be great if we can manage without, and we did do tours with the Tentet, with Chicago Tentet, with no support from Norway or Goethe or whatever. But of course, I mean, I've managed to keep large units going because of support money. We've managed to go to Brazil, Mexico, Japan, US, Ethiopia as well, because of the support money from Norway. So my take on it is that one should never take it for granted, and one day it might be gone. So you've got to use it as, make the most out of it. You have to, because it is very rare, and I mean, there's very many different opportunities you have to receive support money. But I'm also quite critical to how musicians' minds work, and I'm sort of, well, what came first? Was it the support money or the actual idea? And yes, of course, okay, you've got the idea, the support money helped you to realize it, but also I think as an artist, there's got to be some strength, a will behind it, that you'll pursue your ideas either way, if there's support or not. You'll just bloody do it. But thank God there is all the support from Norway, but one's got to be careful with it.
You are also running a music festival in Oslo all years, and considering to get more involved in musical production, I think.
Yeah, I mean, well, all years I begun maybe, that's over 20 years ago, and I quit after 15, maybe 5 years too long, and then I started another one called Blowout, which I recently quit because then I'd been in it for 13 years. I think it's important to do. It's not because I'm not booking that festival for me to play, but I want to present music. It's like you have a party, you play music for people. Okay, I want people to hear this. Bringing in musicians they've never heard. Maybe putting together some collaborations which people didn't think of. But then also I think it's good to pass that on. So I also thought 13 years was a little bit too long. Now I'm running another festival called Fram on this peninsula where I live outside of Oslo, which is mixed media, mixed arts. So, and for me that is, I find great joy working with the people that I do run this festival with, because we are bringing in, what should I say, political discussions, dance, classical music, improvised music, film, and just really trying to see how far we can push it.
Which is the nature of musical projects you are working in now? What's your main focus now?
Okay, this second, when you ask me, it's the circus band, which it will be for the next 10 days. After that, I hope to manage to focus on writing more music for large unit, for the circus group, the trio we have with Ingebrigt and David Murray. And there's a bunch of new bands now actually happening, being put together. And there's a lot of nice younger players in Norway, I think, which I will be playing with. So, yeah, let's hope for the best. But I think there's some good things coming up now.
We'll open ears and good luck for everything.
Thank you so
very
much,
Paul.
Thank you so much. Great.